Welcome back to the Mini Machine Shop. I'm Dave. Well, I think from the last video, the audio is a little bit better. It seemed like it was louder, but the lighting, I think I know when to do it. Can only shoot when the sun sets, because right now the garage door is open. The sun is behind the mountain there, so I don't get any direct lighting. And looking in the monitor right now, it looks like it's pretty good lighting. I won't know until I finish editing it. All right, what have we got in stock for today? I want to do a special section here. It doesn't really apply to anything, but I want to do this for one particular person, and I think he knows who it is. This is an old-time torch that they used to use for doing soldering pipes, welding and stuff. It's filled from the bottom, and you fill it with kerosene. These are primarily kerosene torches. And there's a little tray that you can see down here that you fill with kerosene. And as it burns, it heats up this whole part. So when you finally turn it on, it's going to start vaporizing immediately, and it won't be spewing fire all over the place. So you fill the tray with kerosene, light the tray, wait until it completely burns out. Once that's gone, then you can turn this on and you can start doing your soldering. And yeah, it's manual pump. You just pressurize it and it goes. I can't tell who makes it. The sticker's pretty bad now, but I'll probably dig a magnifying glass out because I'm kind of curious. I haven't played with this thing for probably over 30 years, but it works really nice. eBay find I did. I'm not going to pull the whole thing out. Can you see it in the drawer? Yeah, there's a whole gauge pin set here. This is the .251 1/2 inch. I've got the two lower sets. So I can go from now 11 thousandths all the way up to 1/2 inch with thousandths increments. This was kind of fun. Trick on eBay, kind of. Probably a lot of people know it, but I saw this and it only had one bid. It was at $50 and it had a few days to go, and so I waited, made a note, and finally it came down to probably a half hour, and I'm watching and it's still only one bid. What I like to do, and I've done it before, and it's a very successful trick, is you wait until the last 15 seconds when it's counting down. You have your window, another window open with the bid ready to go, and then you're watching the clock on another screen as it goes down. At the 15-second interval, I entered in $55. It's going to be dollar increments, so it's at 50. If he bids 50, if I go 51 and he's already got a backup bid of 52, it'll go up until it hits the limit. So I put in 55, and I entered it in the last 15 seconds, because what happens is most people aren't watching it, or they're watching it, but when I hit enter, I'm now the highest bid, and they don't have enough of time to get the window open to bid higher. So I actually got this whole set for $51. I beat this poor guy by $1, and I'm sure he's like kicking himself. It weighs a ton, so I had to pay 24 bucks to get it from the company. And when it came, it was poorly packaged, so the whole front of the lid was smashed off. And I contacted them and I said, you know, look, the whole front's smashed off. Also, there's 260 of them. I had the micrometer, all of them, to make sure they were correct and nothing was wrong. The ad said it was a minus set. When I finished micrometering it, I realized it is a plus set, which is what I wanted anyway. So I contacted them and I said, look, it's a plus set, the lid's smashed, I think I can fix it. Can you refund the shipping? It's $24. And they said, yeah, sorry to hear about the damage and the wrong set. We're happy to refund $24, and they did immediately. But I refinished it. You can see a lot of the stuff. I had to replace the whole top, another piece of mahogany here. Wish I had a piece that didn't have the damage in it. But everything came out like brand new. It's a beautiful set. I love it. So that's my trick on winning on eBay. A lot of people, I can tell friends that, and they've gotten everything they've ever wanted. So use it, hope it works. Went to an estate sale. All the estate sales I'm finding, by the way, are on Craigslist for my area, and They usually post them Friday night, late Friday night. They'll finally remember to do it. And I always show up towards the end of Sunday, whatever, when everything is gone and they're stuck with a whole bunch of stuff. So the last one, I went into the garage and said, "You're going to make me a great deal?" And they said, "Sure." So I picked up a whole bunch of stuff. I got like a bunch of bags, brand new unopened bag of steel wool nails, a whole can of Bondo with the activator, a big assortment of sandpaper. There was a whole bunch of stuff, and I said, "How much?" And they said, $10. And I said, "You're going to keep it. I'll give you 5. Or you can throw it in the trash can." They said, "Okay." So I got it. Alright, for this video, one of the earliest videos, I said the only reason why I got the mini lathe was because I wanted to make rings out of nickels. I've got my nickel, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, let's make this ring. I bet you it's something nobody's ever seen done like this. Alright, to do this, I had to make my own little holder for it, and I have a bit that stays with it all the time, so when I drill this hole out, I wind up fitting this perfectly. So let's bring it on in and drill, center drill it, and I always use the tails because, is this going to clear? No. Alright, back it out further, over there, clears it, block it down. I always use the tail because the head, where the dead center is, wants to make the bit walk around. So this seems to work good. There we go. Pretty easy metal to do. Slow it down a bit, I guess. There we go. And the nickel just happens to sit in the grooves in the 3-jaw. So I don't really get much wobble this way out of it by doing that. Almost through. Yep, there it is, breaking through the other side. Alright, give it a little bit of a comb. Back it out. There we go. Alright. Loosen that up. Come on. There we go. Alright. Take the spotting drill out, throw it back in the drawer. Now, the drill bit that I'm drilling is a 1/4 inch, and I always like to go one size smaller and then do the final cut. So this is, what am I using here? This is 15/64. That way I know the final drill, I'm taking off just a teeny bit of material. Alright, lock that down, go. That's not on center for some reason, something's moving here. Hold down, lock it all the way. That's on center, oh, slowly down. Slowly but surely, nickel coming off. Almost through. There it is, through. Alright, go to the final size, the 1/4 inch guy. Put this back in the drawer. I think I've got to realign the tailstock. I don't think it's on center anymore. It's moved somehow. Alright, bring that in. Knock it down. The heck of it, just put a little WD-40 on here. Alright. And that's that. Alright, so that should now fit right on the mandrel that I made. So let's see, we can get rid of this. Oh, unlock it. Ah, come on. There. Alright, put this over here. Take it out of there. Probably have to deburr it. Alright, one hole right in the center. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Fits right on there perfectly. Beautiful. Jeez, it's hard to hold the screw here. Oh, come on, get in there. There it goes. Alright, put this in there. There. And I poke it out pretty far because I want to be cutting both sides of the coin. Get a screwdriver here. That's locked in place. Screwdriver. There it is. We're ready. Nice and tight, ready for machining that. Okay, bring this guy back out. Where's this guy back on there? Oh, you can see this guy's still, it's been a week now. He's still shiny, no rust. Beautiful. Alright, so I'm going to do the face first. I need this guy. Give it more of an angle here. There. Run it in. Alright, so we're going to clean up the face. Actually, I'm going to take the diameter down first, because I want to make a pretty small OD ring. That is smoking a little bit here. Wobbling all over the place. That is not sitting on there right. That's why it's wobbling. I don't have it all the way down. There's a burr or something here. It's wobbling that much. So I can see a gap behind it. Spin it a bit. Might be a burr. What size am I on? That looks like it's starting to sit down now. Get on there. Much better, much better. Now it's spinning straight. Yeah, I like that better. Alright, bring it back in. Put some juice on here, W40. Taking off 2-3 thousandths at a time here. There we go. Now it's getting nice and straight. Put some more juice on it. And if you're going to make an actual toe ring, which you're probably not, because like I said, this thing will turn the toe green, you probably want to get a mandrel, a ring sizer, and calculate out the dimensions and how far you want to turn this thing down. Okay, that's probably good enough. So let's take some of the face down. And I can still see, there, we got it now. No more frozen in head or tail end, right? That look good? Yep, it's got the whole face nice and smooth. Okay. What's that? Something's on it. Need a better finishing cut here. That was a nicer finishing cut, right? Beautiful. Alright, so now we're going to do the other side. Oops, wrong thing to loosen, Dave. Alright. Get the other one and do the inside. Angle it that way. I think I gotta drop it in after I bring it over. Nope, it clears it. Alright. There. Alright, you're not going to be able to see this side, but it's the same as that side. Put some juice in there. Alright, let's see, 2000s. Why is this thing not cutting? Is that tool okay? Oh, brush. I don't think that tool is good. Yep, it's chipped. Wow. Alright, let me change this out and I'll bring you back. Alright, I just rotated it. It looks like there's one bad side tip. The other two are pretty good. Let's see if it cuts now. Some juice on this. I have no idea how that got chipped too. It's this with the hole in it, just for soft metal. Alright, back it up a little bit. Okay, now it's cutting. Yeah, it's nice. And you can make this as thin as you want, of course. I have to get a flashlight here so I can see the back side of this. I don't think I've cleared all of the head yet. Oop, come on. No, it's still a mess here. That's going to be full cut now. I think that does it all. Looks like it. I can clean that up. Yeah, that looks good. Nice. Alright, so now I did make these rings way back when I just first got this lathe, mini lathe. I had no idea what I was doing. Boy, it's almost time to go back to Harbor Freight and just get another set. Yeah, this is chipped too. Wow. Alright. Get another set just so I can get another set of the carbide tips here. Now, back then, I think I rounded the corners by sanding it. What have I got for good sandpaper here? This is 3000. I didn't have a lot of sandpaper then. No, this is 3000. 1200. Alright, that should work. Get this whole thing out of the way. I always hate doing this because it never fails. I'll end up getting a knuckle or something hit by the jaw. Pretty close. Let's see what it looks like, feels like. It's still rough on the inside. The outside's pretty good. The inside needs more. Don't get hit, please. That hurts a lot. I need to force this sandpaper here. Look at that. Alright, well. This is Okay. Oh, that's that hit. 100 grit. It's probably 120. All I saw was a 0 on it. So, because it doesn't feel that coarse at all. Alright, go back to the fine stuff. It looks like it's rounding out more now. Now, let's see what it looks like. Clean that up. What is that? Okay, that's better. Yeah. That's looking pretty good. You can go as round as you want. It doesn't make any difference, but... Alright, so now we need to bore it out. And I'll show you the trick I do to get this thing mounted. Undo this guy. Get him out of the way. And bring it back over. Loosen this up. I've already changed the chuck out to a bigger chuck. So you simply slide this guy in here. Clamp it down. And you go in and set it in. It's always fun getting the screw out of there, but alright. Alright. Put it just right in the center of that first jaw. Yeah, in further. There we go. And you make sure you clamp it down pretty darn good. Okay. Loosen. Come on. Oh, that's right. What am I going to do here? Confusion. Where's the chucky for this guy? Right here. Alright, so we can go away now. Actually, I've never done this before. This should be fun. It should be nice and straight. Okay, pretty much so. Okay, need a wrench to break this thing free. Get it out of the Gershoner. There we go. Comes right off. Get the finger in there. It's going to drop, and I don't want to lose it in a chip tray. Got it. Alright. So this is a little guy. I made this guy originally out of aluminum, because like I said, when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. I was scared to death to work on steel. Later on, I made one out of, whoop, wrong drawer. Made one out of steel. Here's the original aluminum one. Came out pretty good. I mean, it turned a bunch of rings. It was working nicely. Alright, now we set up for boring. Bring this guy back. This is clean. This is clean. Nope, there was junk on it. Throws it off by a few thousandths too. You don't keep that absolutely clean. Alright, this needs to go at a slight angle for the particular boring tool I'm going to use, which is this guy, Grizzly. I don't remember the part number, and I have to take it out to tell you guys, and I don't want to take it out because I got it all set nice. Nice little carbide inserts. This is the first one too, and it's been sharp for a long time. I have a feeling, yep, I have to take it out. Can't close this without taking it out. So, wrench. Come on, boy, you're tight, huh? There, push. Tighten it up. Okay, it's a Grizzly S. Oh, let me move this down. I'll show you guys. There it is. The S100 4K SCLCR. It's a really nice tool. I like it. Doesn't go too deep because of the shoulder here, but oh, it's going to hit, huh? Wow. That's new. I could remove that handle. Alright, well, let's see how it's going to cut. Actually, I should probably just cut that thing shorter. I was going to tell you, this is hardened steel, so that would be on the grinder forever. And with this guy, this particular cutter, it's straight. Man, boy, that looks like that's at a big angle. You have to use cutting fluid. It's going to make a mess if you don't. But, alright, let's see what happens here. Where am I? Alright. Looks like it's cutting. Yeah, it's cutting. Just got kind of a mess in there. So it gets nice and round. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful curls coming off of it. Alright, so all I have to do is just keep throwing WD-40 in there. Put that there. Oh, it's cutting the camera away. And just keep boring this thing out. Bringing it all the way down to whatever thickness I want. Now, I love that. Let me get one of the other ends. And the calipers. Now you can take this pretty darn small. This guy, the zero out, yep. This guy is 52 thousandths thick. As I drop it down in the chip tray. Good job, Dave. Come on. Ouch. Alright, so he was 52 thousandths. And thickness on him, 28 thousandths. You can go way down. So I'll bring this down, get it down pretty thin, probably the same thing, and then bring you guys back. Alright, it's getting pretty close. I'm not sure where I am yet, but turn this back on. Because when you get, I'm at 73 thousandths. When you get this close, you got to start definitely using some sort of cutting fluid on every pass and come in 1,000th at a time, because this is starting to flex now, I know, in the chuck. And if you take too heavy a cut or go too fast, it's going to come flying out. 73 thousandths, that's pretty close to being where I just say, well, just call it quits. Man, I keep hitting that thing. Like I said, you start cutting in real slow. Maybe, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm doing 1,000th at a time here. That's quits right there. Now, oh, to finish off the inside, boy, that was rather dangerous all the time. Yep, junk all over me. So we got to round that out, and I did it with sandpaper right now. Probably use this stuff. Yep, it's going to catch on everything there. Probably hitting my gouge here. What did that do? Yeah, let's move to that nicely. Now, the problem is, flip it around, because they're going to do the other edge. Then I remember playing around with it, trying to get it not to wobble. Ugh, that's a sharp edge. Where am I? I'm wrong. Just eyeball it. That's there. That goes in further. I'm eyeballing it to the center of each jaw. This has to come out. Yep. Move the whole thing. Shoot. I wonder if a gauge pins would do this. Now that I have the new all the way up gauge pin set, let me see. Well, let me caliper it first, eh? See if it even goes to a 1/2 inch. What side does I do this to? Oh, psh, it's too big. 0.716. Alright, well, let me just get this thing in there and just sand the heck out of it. I'll probably keep going back and forth and get it nice and smooth, and then I'll bring it back. Alright, I'm using a different piece of wood here to try to make sure everything stays in focus. Which way do I gotta go to get it in the center? That's the ring that was in the lathe, mini lathe, and apologize I didn't spend a whole lot of time doing this, but I just wanted to give everybody kind of the idea, concept on how I did it, you know, with the homemade mandrel and stuff. So how did this guy wind up being anyway? Let's see, 49 thousandths, 50 thousandths, 51. So kind of a square ring. But you can go as far as you want with it. I did, here's a few other ones that I really spent some time on. That guy, and you can get it really small too. There's, how small did that go? And like I said, you got to go real slow because it's going to come right out. That's 30 thousandths by 50 thousandths. So it's just as thick as that one, but I took it down a lot more. So there were a whole bunch of them that I did messing around with. Here was a tall one. This was probably one of the first ones because it kept flying out until I learned how to just be careful with it. There's some other ones that I made. This guy. So some guy on YouTube making his own wedding ring. Now this was done in the Spindex. I probably turned it down. It was a solid bar. Turned it down. Used the ball driver and the Z-axis DRO to get the depth correct. And did this all the way around, and then I'm sure it took it over and finally bored it out and cut it off and cleaned it up. But I also just thought of, you know, let me make one that goes inside of it. So here's the wedding rings, his and hers, and one goes inside the other nicely. So that was kind of fun to mess with. What else is there? There's just a whole bunch of other. Oh yeah, speaking of the Spindex, this was done in the Spindex too. I think this originally started out, I was trying to make a golf tee for my son-in-law, but I didn't have the ball driver to really do it right. So I threw it in the Spindex, and you can see it just went back and forth with a ball driver, and you can make some pretty neat knobs or something with this. So that's that. Yeah, here's one with grooves in it. I think you can see, oh, it's spinning around. Yeah, you can kind of see very, very slight grooves that I put in it, and it looks nice. Let me back the camera out a little bit because I want to show you something else. Now the final on these, they were all buffed up, but they're done on this guy. This is the Harbor Freight, their little mini guy with a nice buffing wheel on it. If I use the big buffer over there, inevitably it snags on everything, it throws the ring across the room, bends it. This guy is real nice. I had to rebuild it in the beginning. You probably can see some of the stuff down in here. It was badly out of balance. I made a bushing for it. I think you can see it down in there. Had to clean up and reface this big giant washer because it was wobbling all over the place. Now it just pretty much so. Whoops, what happened? Got unplugged? There we go. It's starting to go out of balance again. The grinding wheel is a mess. It's not worth anything. You put something in there to try to grind it, and more wheel comes off than steel. So, but it's pretty nice because you can just sit here and just buff away. And I do my wedding ring from time to time, get it all nice and new and shiny, like different buffing compounds. So that's that. I recommend that guy if you want to start playing with small stuff and buffing it up. So I think there was something else I wanted to say, but now I can't remember. Oh yeah, I had actually, you can go to coin shops and get a solid silver quarter and make your rings out of that rather than nickel, because nickel turns green. But I know I went and I bought a couple of old quarters which were all silver. Made some toe rings and stuff out of it and gave it to my kids, so I don't have that to show you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and hope it's maybe sparked some ideas. So talk to you later. Bye. Now remember what I wanted to show. More Michaels boxes. You just go buy them, you take the hinges off, throw it away, and I run it through the table saw like that. Now that I got the new Ryobi sander, just bloop. It's all nice and clean. And of course, you still have tons of felt left, so I felt line everything. So, just an idea.